Assalamu alaikum, ladies, and welcome to our podcast, Big Sis Spills the Tea, where we keep it real and give your aunties something to talk about. My name's Aneesa. I'm a mother of two and an entrepreneur.
I'm Maryam. I'm an engineer by day and content creator by night.
So today we're going to talk about the digital detox, finding peace in a loud world. Of course, social media is such a big part of today's society.
Yeah.
And even for us, we're on social media every day
All the time.
with your content creation, and for me, the same. So yeah, it's a big part of our lives, and it's a big part of society in general these days.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about how social media is affecting us, how it plays a role in our lives. And even for me as a mother, one big thing that I worry about is how social media is affecting my children, and how they are so exposed to the world. And nowadays they're growing up before their age.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a big challenge. But at the same time, social media can be used for the better and for good as well. Yeah, how does it affect us without us even realizing?
So one aspect of it is that, when we're on social media, especially as content creators and, when you have a business, when you want to market for it, you always have to be seeing what's on trend, looking for ideas, etc. And then when you're so involved in trends, sometimes it does become like there's a worldly aspect of it.
Yeah.
And for someone who, like for me, for example, if I'm trying to always trying to center myself and always trying that, the center of everything is faith, falling into those trends can sometimes feel like it's the opposite of it.
Yeah.
And when you're on social media a lot, which is true for almost everyone these days, on some sort of social media, like if you don't use Instagram that much, which is very rare, but there are people who don't, there's always some sort of social media that you are involved in. And there's always an influence in it. Like, as I said, when we start the new year and we set goals for ourselves, and we have every year, it's become like a trend. Every year people make their vision boards because they believe in whatever you see every day. Eventually, when you look at your goals
manifest.
every day, when you manifest it, manifestation is like a little bit, we have an Islamic version of it. But when you look at something every day, when you consume something every day, eventually you do become like that, or you are led to that. So when it comes to our feeds and what we are constantly consuming on social media, it's so important. I don't think that it's always the answer is to disconnect yourself. But it is to always be very, very mindful. Even if you like something, think about, before you hit follow, think about, is this something that you want to consume on the daily basis though? Because there's so much content out there that I like. It's not, it's fine. Because, for example, just an example, I started watching a lot of food content. Making,
once you start watching food content, your whole feed will be food.
Exactly. But it's not bad. I'm not saying like it's a bad thing, but I started hitting follow, I like this, I like this cooking video, I like this restaurant, I like this cafe, but eventually I felt like I was craving those foods more and more, and I was consuming them more and more, and this was not even like a conscious decision. And then I actually had to go and unfollow all of that, because I was thinking to myself, whatever I'm consuming, you do unconsciously become like that. You become closer to that, and that's like a huge part of digital detox. That it's not always about just removing yourself, but it's also about filtering whatever you like. Don't always think that, okay, this is what I will engage with and follow.
Because to be aware of what is going in.
Do you want to consume that every day?
Exactly. And it's like, for example, with music, not listening to music is because it changes our mood. It affects us. We're not in control, basically. So, for example, we were speaking about the other day how when I was listening to music, like if I would be sad, I would listen to sad songs. and if I was feeling really happy, I'd listen to more upbeat music to like enhance my emotion. You know, it's like a dopamine. And that just leads to not being in control, and we're sometimes not even aware of the words.
I agree with that. As kids, like, you know, kids listen to so much stuff. And me as a child, I used to listen to so much stuff that when I grew up, I was like, oh my God, what was I listening to?
Sometimes my kids, they say phrases like brain rot phrases. And I'm just like, what does that mean? And then I look into what it means, and it's not good. Like even brain rot, the word is like rotting your brain, basically. And they're just saying it just because they've heard it. You know. So yeah, as you said, it's important to consume the right things.
Exactly. And then also, I think like that's on a daily basis, but I think it's always very important to be very intentional with like also taking days off of social media. You know, like maybe like going a weekend without social media, you know, doing those kind of digital detoxes as well, the traditional kinds. I think that's also very, very important because social media does take up a lot of mental space as well. So, you know, when you get out of it, you actually become more connected to who you are.
Definitely.
I like 100% believe in that. And there's a whole aspect of social media setting standards as well. Social media has a lot of expectations and that comparison aspect of it. And again, it's not always in a bad way. So for example, even like for me, for example, it's not just Instagram, right? LinkedIn. There's so many people on LinkedIn who are, you know, achieving like very, very like I've seen, for example, people who were in my class in university, they have PhDs, and I just graduated.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh.
And whenever I come on LinkedIn and I see that, I'm like, whoa. I feel like a failure. But you know, like that's it. Like for me, I've overcome that thing on Instagram, like okay, comparing myself like when you see bodies and things like that. I've overcome that, but then I've not overcome the career aspect of it. I cannot handle LinkedIn. So I think that's true for people on social media, and it's so important, like, you know, when being aware of, you know, when you think you're comparing yourself so much, distance yourself from that content.
Definitely. I think not so much now, but in past years, like young girls have been affected by social media, like body image and all of this. It's not so much now because there's more of like acceptance of different people now.
I do agree with that, but there's still always
but
that,
it's still
like,
there subconsciously.
it's still there, like no matter what it is, you know, it's about like the acceptance as well. Because it's the same as, like, you know, how they accept hijab. And then they accept like different types of bodies. It's always shown as like this like exotic thing, like a different thing, you know. But that's not real acceptance. I don't believe in that, because real acceptance is when you really understand those backgrounds and you understand the, like, for example,
get deeper into the meaning, the purpose.
Exactly. Not just like, it's the same as, like, you know, when like huge fashion brands, they just put hijab as like a hijabi model.
But when like it comes the token hijabi, just to show that they're inclusive.
And then it's always like all of them are skinny, and then there's like a plus size model just to show that you are inclusive. That's not what it means.
Exactly.
It means that you're changing the definition of what a model looks like, right? So that thing is still there on Instagram. Like, we've spoken about this before, you know, like the trend of like how a body looks, and right now it's like the skinny girl body.
It's always changing.
So it obviously does.
But I think now
you.
I think it's not so bad now as it was before.
That is true for sure, because
but it does subconsciously for everyone. We're human beings. It does. Whatever we consume, it affects us. So and even in any role, for example, being a student, being a mother, there's so many different characters on social media that you do find yourself comparing. Am I enough? Am I doing enough? Why have they done this and I've done it this way? But in a sense, it can be good. because you can learn a lot of things from social media. Even Islamically, if you're following the right accounts, it can actually give you that reminder of the path, the right path to lead, you know, and it's all about what you intake at the end of the day.
Yeah. I was just thinking about, like wellness content as well. It's a positive thing. But a lot of the times you see people who do not have like, just to give you an example, like for example, a mom who just gave birth,
Yeah.
she sees wellness content, and it's like a lot of these, like you see very privileged people who are posting, oh, like I just gave birth, and then they have everything perfect, and then there's like a regular normal mom looking at it and thinking like this is the standard.
She doesn't have support, she's struggling,
or
and
like
it's gonna
sometimes
make her feel more miserable.
Exactly. And then they're not always transparent on social media.
No, it goes through so many filters.
Exactly.
Imagine you take the content, you take about 50 shots and one will be good enough.
Yeah.
And then you decide to post that, but then you add filters.
Yeah.
And then that little snapshot was literally like 10 seconds of your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you don't know anything about the circumstances around it, the environment. You don't know which context it was, shot in.
Yeah.
You know nothing. You just see those 10 seconds.
Exactly. And then even like the positive content becomes like a
comparison
point. Like this is the standard and I need to reach the standard, and until I'm not that standard, I will be striving to become that.
And I've seen a lot recently about girls or people in their 20s thinking that they haven't achieved what they should be achieving and feeling like they're falling behind.
That's me.
Does it relate to you? Yeah, I think you posted something about that recently. And even for me, I've been doing like the Big Sis series. So being in my 30s, giving advice to girls that are in their 20s. So I've been doing that on my page as well. And I actually started it because I was seeing a lot of these posts about being in your 20s and not feeling like you've achieved what you should be achieving because others have their whole life together, career, family, and all of these things.
Because now if you see social media, right, early marriages are becoming so much more common. People are having kids early. But also at the same time, women also have careers, men also have careers, and then the whole thing
is not always the way that people portray it.
Exactly.
It really isn't.
It's not, but like I know that. But even me, it does affect me still because I'm thinking like, oh, okay, like at my age, people are married, they have kids, they have their personal brand built, they have a career, they have a job, and it's, you always, no matter what it is, you always
from the outside that could look like very successful, but they could be drowning inside.
Exactly.
You never know what people show online is not the reality. Trust me, it's really not. So I think for the girls in their 20s, just to realize that it's just it's your life. It goes through stages, and there's no point of comparing with others because you maybe have something altogether, like you have something that others don't have, but it's not something that you can show, and the most valuable things are the ones within. So just to not compare with others, because everyone's at their own stage. And even marrying early, for example, there's pros and cons to it.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
And I think your 20s are the years where you really find yourself. Because in your 30s, you become so sure about yourself. And other people's opinions don't matter. You don't feel embarrassed. You do you don't have those feelings of others' opinions anymore. In most cases, not always, but you feel more secure about who you are. And you don't feel like you need to change to fit into certain settings, or you realize that others, some people don't really have any impact on your life, so why are you worrying about what they think?
And that comes back to like a lot of the, we've talked about it in the aspect of modesty and fashion, but that does apply to everything in life.
Yeah, everything.
Seeking that validation when you really, really, truly don't care about what people think.
Yeah,
It doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if we think about the younger generation now, and I think they don't really use Instagram much anymore. It's more like TikTok
Really?
and Snapchat. I don't know, like the teens. I don't know. Did they use Instagram?
I have a few cousins who are on Instagram, but like the kids.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. I think we're both too old.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I do know like a lot of them are on TikTok. It's
yeah,
a lot
I feel
more
like
common.
TikTok is more spoken about.
It is.
And TikTok's just like another world.
Yeah, it's another world. Like it's a lot.
Like if I ever go on TikTok, like I'll be crying 1 minute and the next minute I'll be laughing. My emotions will be up and down.
Yeah, it has a lot. It has a lot more like not polished content, and you know, like that's what the next generation is more about.
Yeah,
not having that like.
Yeah, they're not very serious, are they?
Yeah.
So they're very unserious.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but let's just make dua and hope for the best. Inshallah, everything will be fine. Okay, so rather than doing our usual quick fire, we're going to do something a bit different this time. And we're both going to share what was our last liked post on Instagram. So my last liked post was actually related to self-care. And it's a picture of a red mug of coffee and it has a few quotes. So the quotes are, "The moment you decide you are worthy, the universe starts to agree. Be so kind in life that when people meet you, they start believing you are created by God and not by society." Yeah, so it's like a carousel of different self-care quotes. There's quite a few, so I won't read all of them.
Okay, mine's not that serious. Mine's just this little thing that says, "You handled it so well." "No, I didn't. My bestie had to hear me talk about it for 15 days straight." That's so relatable. Yeah, that's it.
Oh. So we're both liking like self-care stuff.
Yeah.
You with your bestie and me with my deep quotes.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode of Big Sis Spills the Tea. We hope you enjoyed our discussions on finding our peace in a loud world from the perspective of being Muslim women in today's society. If this resonated with you, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, and of course, we'd love to hear from you, so share your thoughts, tag us, or drop us a message in the comments with what you'd like to hear in the next episode. That's it from your big sis. See you next time, inshallah. Bye.